All right. This is Soul Siblings, which for those that aren't familiar, is a play on the deck title Soul Sisters, which was an extended deck and then is a fringe slash bad deck in Modern that's based around these cards that gain life when creatures come into play. Historic Anthology 1 brought with it here a payoff Serra Ascendant. As long as you have 30 or more life, it gets +5/+5 and have flying. One of the subsequent Historic Anthologies introduced Ranger of Eos to this format, which lets us find Serra Ascendants or Soul Wardens. We have Ajani's Pridemate as a life gain payoff. We have Heliod the Sun Crowned as a life gain payoff. We have Ajani Strength of the Pride as a life gain payoff. And then we have some card advantage and things like Lurrus. One of the things that's nice about this deck, and this should be a reasonable aggressive deck, is that this deck gets to play 4 copies of Grafdigger's Cage, which is good against Reanimator decks. It's good against Winota. This deck will likely get to play Containment Priest once that card comes in at M21. It's a good card to keep your eye on. So let's go ahead and pop on into some matches here with this. Oh, I didn't swap to the borderless Pridemate. Thank you. I don't know why it doesn't default to my borderless card. Super annoying. Solid curve here. Would love a 2 or 3 drop to play on. Oh, that's neat. I don't think I noticed this, that it shows a 3 as the converted mana cost there now. I guess that makes sense, right? Three is what they pay to move it into their hand. Do I play the Legion's Landing? Probably. I'm kind of expecting them to chew my hand up some more. Okay. Go to 16 here. Castle, Ajani.
Everything will be fine if we stand together. My pride.
Hey, German Space Ace. Perfect time for my favorite historic deck. Thanks for the great content and the discussions. Thanks, German. I appreciate the 24 months. It looks like a Grixis Tempo deck. The Vicious Rumors are an interesting inclusion.
I hope we meet again soon.
We get to flip Legion's Landing next turn, which is nice. Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, I think the design on the new Teferi is probably fine. Opponent's build is sweet. Get to bring in some removal here. Baffling End and Conclave Tribunal both seem good. Ajani seems not good. They pressure our life total, so the zero's not stellar. And they're able to just attack him off the board. I don't think Cage is quite good enough here. But just Dreadhorde Arcane is. We'll lead on Leonin Vanguard here because we're going to be able to play out 2 1-drops on turn 2, so this will trigger an attack as a 2-2. I actually like bringing back phasing. I know mechanically it's kind of messy, but like, if you're going to do a Teferi-themed set, bringing back phasing makes a lot of sense. In your opinion, if a deck can free roll Companion, yeah, I think people are going to generally overstate how bad Companions are with the change. I think in general, I'm expecting most Companions to still be very reasonable. I mean, they're kind of unprecedented in Standard. When does Core 2021 come out? I believe June 25th. So hopefully my daughter decides to show up before then. That way I can take my week break and be back when before the set releases. Huh? Is War of the Spark out of... No, rotation doesn't happen till October. What's up, dude? What do you need help with? Animal Crossing. You want to watch Animal Crossing videos?
I watched it before
Okay. Declan likes watching video games on his phone, chat. Can you relate to that? Does anybody out there like watching video games? No one? Weird. Close the door behind you, Declan. Thank you. Does Moto count? No. Your nephew watches Super Mario videos. He never plays the game. He just likes the videos. Yeah, Declan's pretty split. He watches videos. A lot of times he'll watch something and be like, oh, I want to go play this on our Switch. Houston? Do we have takeoff? I repeat. Do we have liftoff? Alright, over. You are cleared for liftoff. Tradesies? Tradesies? No? Weird. I find it weird that kids will watch other people play it now I've been here for 9 months. Femi, alright, we're glad to have you. Sweet. Alright, think of me up your Sideboarding. Just run it back. I know the life total isn't a scoreboard, but it feels like it with this deck. It really does. I feel like this is in the range of keepable. The removal spell makes it pretty appealing. Got a lot of 1-drops to mulligan for, though. The thing that makes me think I want to keep this is they played Vicious Rumors against us game 1, which kind of means, like, I'm expecting other discard spells and every piece of action density counts. I don't know, I wouldn't fault anyone for mulliganing this, but I think it's in the range of keepable here for us. What are spells? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't understand how some people don't understand why watching video games is popular. How much money comes in from football and baseball and basketball from people who love watching those games. Well, the same types of people that can't draw conclusions about, like, what you're talking about, those are the same types of people who, like, you show them an algebra problem, how to do an algebra problem, and they can't extrapolate what you just taught them to a new algebra problem. A lot of people have a hard time with abstract critical thinking skills, where they're trying to take what they've learned and then apply it to new situations. They have a hard time drawing parallels between things that are kind of similar but not exactly the same. Like 90% of students, correct. I mean, it's unfair to say everybody that's a Republican lacks critical thinking skills. Some Republicans are incredibly wealthy and incapable of empathy, so they don't care that them getting tax breaks by voting Republican harms human beings. Feels dead, man. Feels dead, man. Yeah, opponent's build is super sweet. Just like Grixis tempo with Jeg as a free roll. It's my line about idiots and billionaires. You know. Okay, well, they're not flashing back Blink of an Eye, so that's good. Now, next turn, we'll be able to Linden into Conclave Tribunal. So, like, in the event they don't have interaction here, we could be in an okay spot. But it seems incredibly likely that they have interaction. Would love it if they just put this into their hands here. Sick. Okay. So, now... Oh, that's a good draw, too. So I get to do this. Into this. Into Conclave Tribunal. Do I exile the Royal Scions, or do I exile the Dread Horde Arcanist and attack the Royal Scions? I think that's the line. Yeah, I think if our opponent had been more aggressive, like, we're not guaranteed to win this game, but we definitely have a shot here. And if they would have bounced my Heliod last turn by plussing their Royal Scions on their Arcanist and then flashing back this, we would be on a 0%er.
There is no virtue without bravery.
Put the counter on Linden to take her out of Lightning Strike range. Ooh, that's a good observation. That's a good observation. Lightning Struck here. Noxious Grass. JK played around the Noxious Grass like a professional. Are we dead? Probably dead. Getting close. Ooh. Life link it up. Why did I exile the Arcanist over Dorat? Because if I left Arcanist in play with Royal Scions, they could have used Royal Scions to... They could have used Royal Scions to flash back Blink of an Eye, which would have been very bad for me. Before anybody asks, this can't give lifelink to itself. Anybody wondering why I didn't do that? We're dead to one more spell here. Every bit of the Buffalo. Close game. Close game. Dorat's sweet. Grixis Tempo's kind of neat. Like what? Like what they have going on over there? Historic's been fun today to the person that asked. I like this format. I think it's very reasonable. The reason why I took 5 days off of streaming Magic wasn't because I was upset with Magic. It was because Wizards of the Coast lame ducked all of their formats and then waited 5 days to patch. So they weren't lame ducks anymore. It felt like it would be wrong of me to play viewer-submitted decks in a format that was guaranteed to change. So rather than doing that and playing a dead format, I just decided to play a different game. It's a little land heavy, but eh. The timeline for the patch was incredibly silly and unacceptable. The patch should have been deployed on Tuesday. They should have been ready to update on Tuesday. Full stop. Yeah, big agree, Super Lee. For Magic to both take a week to tell us the bans and then take 4 days to make the pass active was bad business. Big agree. Built Winota and Historic with the wild cards I got for the ban, and I'm shocked at the consistency you could kill your opponent with on turn 3. I mean, if your opponent ignores you, yeah. The Winota deck is the best linear deck in the format. If people are not interacting with you, you kill them very consistently. I agree, Hyde. I agree. Civil Penguin, thanks for 13 months. Welcome back. Hey, counter me, daddy. Sick. How good is Containment Priest against Winona? Probably great. I know this deck will definitely play Containment Priest when it's legal. What? You what? Yeah, dude. Eat what you want. Whoa, he closed the door without me asking him to, chat. Somebody mark the calendar. Write it down. Write it down, chat. It's capable of learning. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. I like it. For the sake of my wife, I hope I am not streaming next week. Do I want to play Ajani, or do I want to wait to play around Spell Pierce? Pierce me, daddy. Sounds like you need to lawyer up and draft an eviction notice, tenant overstaying. They're welcome. Sweet artwork. Lurrus punching the clock and going to work here. It's just a good 3-drop. Houston, we are cleared for takeoff. I repeat, we are cleared for takeoff. Dude. I mean, I don't intend to take a break for Magic at any point. Wizards would have to, like, really muck it up for me to take an extended break for Magic. And Pokemon TCG doesn't really have an audience on Twitch, which is kind of surprising given how big their IP is in general, but the card game's just not that popular. I agree, Lurrus is very good in this show. If they don't have a bounce spell next turn and the Serra Ascendant gets to start smashing, we'll be in a good spot. Their Curious Obsession falls off if they don't draw another bounce spell here. Okay, that's pretty good. Not a bounce spell, but at least lets them get an attack in the air and draw another card. How close did this time come to you leaving it? Not close at all. If I considered quitting Magic every time Wizards of the Coast made a colossally stupid decision, I'd never play the game. So they get to trade 2 for 1 for my Serra Ascendant here. The Pridemate is at least bearing down on them. What is the number of... I mean, I can tell you my favorite archetype. The Yarok Field deck's probably one of my favorite decks in Historic, but I'm not quite sure how the number of sets currently on Arena is related to what my favorite archetype is. Borrower can't block. Man. There's an interview I listened to recently with Peter Atkinson where he said, at its height, Pokemon TCG was making 6 or 7 times the amount of money that Magic was when Wizards owned it. Wow. I mean, to be fair, Magic's also scaled up a lot in recent years. I also think Wizards specifically cares a lot more about Magic's presence on Twitch than the Pokemon company cares about Pokemon TCG's digital presence on Twitch. Throw away a couple tokens here to flip a Legion's Landing. That's true too. The IP was more mainstream back then a little bit. And past that, like, past it just being a little bit more mainstream, I don't know where I was going with that. I got nothing. Yeah, I mean, like, Magic's ability to exist 25 years later, 26 years later, like, we complain about bad decisions till we're blue in the face and stuff like that, but, like, they do plenty right as well, right? Like, it's not a mistake that Magic is still here and all these other card games have just disappeared. If they find them their bounce spell for this Pridemate, we could be in trouble. Do you have a jump blocker? A jump blocker, a jump blocker. They have a jump blocker. Do, 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 do. That is true. This land means I can start making 2 tokens per turn. Think Magic will ever die out? I think competitive paper Magic. I think the days for competitive paper Magic are numbered. I do not think Magic as a whole will likely ever go anywhere. Unless society as a whole crumples down and dies, which, to be fair, looking at 2020, that's not a non-possibility based on how the year has gone. But, like, until we hit that point, no, that's not what I said. In fact, I'm going to time you out for not listening, so you can focus on listening and not typing. I said competitive paper Magic will likely die out. And something you need to understand if you're someone who's not informed is that the competitive aspect of paper Magic is a very small part of the game as a whole. Hey, Eris Move, thanks for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Magic always has and likely always will be kept alive by the strong casual player base. Opponent's deck looking very impressive here. Thanks for the 15 months, Industrious. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I mean, we're gaining some life here, but they are hammering through with this Sailor. They're drawing like, what, like 4 cards a turn? How many cards does the opponent have left in deck? 30. So plenty. You're a high school student, and you regularly have students playing with unsleeved piles of Vampires Ion type decks. Yes, exactly. Those types of players are the life's blood of Magic the Gathering. Thanks for the happy year, Hyson. In fact, the fact that you know Magic on Twitch is something you can go watch puts you in a category of player that's different than the majority of people that play Magic. Jumpstart's going to be an awesome product. Really, really looking forward to Jumpstart, both for historic here. 100% be rich. The natural, logical end game for Arena is to have all Wizards organized competitive play on Arena. Sure, things like Star City games and Nerd Rage Gaming, third-party tournaments, I agree. Those will still exist probably and have some semblance of competitive paper Magic. But Wizard supporting it at the highest level, that definitely is numbered. Arena is way better at promoting Wizards products than anything paper Magic can do. It just is. The quality of the product you get covering a digital tournament is just better than the quality of coverage you get from covering a paper tournament. Yeah, man, I think we're dead, huh? Yeah, no cheating. No cheating's a huge one, too, for sure. For sure. Actually don't have a lot of cards with this matchup here on my sideboard, huh? It's like bringing in removal spells again. Dragging my curve down a touch. I'm hyped to play a limited format where I can't ruin my chances. And I don't understand your statement, Space. What does that mean? Can't ruin your chances in the deck editor? Oh, we have Lurrus. I was like, why did they board that in against us? We have 2 copies of Lurrus. Okay. Of course there's no spectator mode. It's looking very likely that the first Arena Pro Tour that's happening next weekend will happen without official coverage. Or if they do have official coverage, it's going to be a hodgepodge like what we do for the Hooglandia Opens. They haven't even told people yet if they're allowed to stream it. Oh, what a joke. Alright, so this game has ended. It's borderless Lurrus not available. You can't buy them yet. They exist, but Wizards won't take your money to get them. Game had a bit of a baffling end on the nose, but I guess you're not wrong. Not wrong. Welcome back, Monster Man. Do 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 do. Is that crazy to offer this trade? Is that crazy to offer this trade? I feel like it's not. Okay. I'm gonna power up the vampire and diversify our threats here a little bit. When the Legion's landing flips, it no longer provides devotion. That is correct. If they dive down in response to this Baffling End, I can convoke... Oh. Well then. Deal. I wasn't expecting that to work, chat. They have another Brazen Borrower? Nope. Do you have an Essence Capture? You do not. God bless. Opponent's got some cheeky lands in their deck here. Bye, Felicia. I mean, our deck has 8 utility lands. So basically, we have 4 castles and 4 Legion's Landings, right? Hey, Steinant. Yes, Wizards of the Coast decided we were allowed to play meaningful Magic formats again. It's lovely. Just lovely. Thanks for the 3rd of the year. I appreciate it. It's sad. I'm sad that Wizards decided to lame duck all their formats for a week and a half. Wow, right before I have to go on leave. It's frustrating timing. That's a great draw. Artwork on the new Teferi looks great. Yeah, the art design overall in Magic is pretty much always stellar, right? They do an excellent job with it overall. Your sad agent is banned. You spent your credits making a deck that's now worthless. What deck with agent did you build that doesn't have a bunch of cards that are still playable? Like whatever deck, all of the decks that had Agent of Treachery have a bunch of cards in them that are like still plenty playable, right? When a mod gets timed out, they lose their sword. I just generally give swords back fairly quickly. This card's real good.
I have let my friends down.
Mean deck Noxious Grasp. Deck Noxious Grasp. Do I do my own web hosting or do I use a service? I currently have I pay for and then donate. I have a dedicated server that I pay for every year that I donate most of the space to for one of the open source projects I used to work on. Utilizing a Twitch extension for a deck queue is just too rigid and comes with too many requirements. Once upon a time, we had something like that, and it's too clunky. And having it on my website to have people to click through to means that it gets people on my website, which also has value. It's valuable to get people there initially. We're about to play, like, Ritualist or something stupid here. We're gonna die. Oh, just another Obliterator. Okay, so you're dead on board then? You're really dead on board? Thick and wide, yep. God bless auto-order triggered abilities, huh, chat? Good night. I would like Conclave Tribunals in my deck. Trim some of the 1-drops. Rest of this seems fine. Had they survived, we had to sacrifice a bunch there, but you know. This hand's much better. Hands, please. Cry of the Canarium? Cry of the Canarium. Disfigure, maybe? Smart and thin, chat. Smart and thin. Oh, you know what? There should be a giant Slayer in our 75 for Ranger of Eos, probably, huh? That card kills Winota, too. It's expensive to kill Winota, but it does. Man, people love boarding and Grafdigger's Cage against our Lurrus, huh? It's kind of great. Thanks for attacking, opponent. I appreciate you. Yes, it's not. I think that's Phyrexian Negator, if I recall correctly. The 5/5 that makes you sack when it takes damage. Giant Killer. I don't know why I thought I was thinking Slayer. Putting a couple of those on the board seems good. We have a pet dog, I guess. Darius Osworth Girdhart IV. Dog IV. It does abbreviate to dog, doesn't it? That's great. Good attention to detail there. Love it. Goodest boy the fourth. The DOG, chat. The DOG. That's fantastic. How do you get that, dog? Pre-order, both pre-order bundles. Give Wizards of the Coast $100. Was there tax or was it 100 even? $49.99 times 2. I should add that to my expenses for the year. Let's write that down before I forget. You like how I cut the disenchants from my board and then we immediately queued into Nexus? Total spending on MTG Arena for the year is now $599.92. But who's counting, really? You're counting. Accurate. Small missequencing on Daxos Vanguard. Yep. Nah, every point matters. The IRS is counting. Man, the IRS has been processing my tax refund for like a month now. I'm hoping it's just COVID-related delays. It would be nice if that would get processed and get my money sent back to me sometime soon. Yours has been sitting for a while too. I mean, if they want to audit me, that's great. They have pretty good documentation of all the stuff that I do. Yeah, the state already took my money. State wasted no time taking my money. And for a lot of it, you have video proof. Ain't that the truth? It's just exhausting, chat. It's just exhausting. I guess this just dies to Brazen Borrower. Feels bad, man. So, the reason why the IRS regularly audits people like me and normal people is because it's cheaper to audit normal people. Because people who are actually likely to commit tax fraud can afford lawyers that make auditing them incredibly difficult and expensive. So it's more profitable to audit normal people than it is to audit people who are actually likely doing things they shouldn't be. And then just as a good life lesson to people in general, I don't really find playing against Nexus of Fate very fun with a deck like this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and concede and move on with my life. I don't think that matchup's 0% by any means, but I do know even if I'm winning, I'm not having fun, so I'm just gonna skip it. The ladder's basically worthless. We're playing it just for fun. Skip the matches you don't enjoy. Prodigy, thanks for the 7 months. Welcome back. Why is Nexus still legal? Because it's actually not that good. Yeah, the buzzing sound every time my microphone is on is because there's an air conditioning unit running right outside my window. Can we get a mod to make a command for the air conditioning unit, by the way? It's low, but it does exist. It's something that people will ask on occasion. And now that Prodigy brought it up and I had to address it, everyone in chat that previously hadn't heard it, that's all they're going to be able to hear now. Think there's any merit to banning cards that promote unfun play patterns? Mark Rosewater really hit the nail on the head, and that's the thing that some people hate about your games is the exact same thing that a lot of other people will love about your games. So many of you out there hate Nexus of Fate, but there's other people that playing decks like Nexus of Fate is just everything they want to do in Magic. We call those people the bad. They don't go to the good place, that's for sure. Whoa, we got a doggo, chat. Goodest, the goodest of boys. That does look like the artwork on the pet, huh? Who's a good boy? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Wow, that's gross. Main deck Ratchet Bomb, eh? Thankfully, Esper's never beat a flipped Legion's Landing in its life, so we got this. You can make any card historic legal for Magic's history. What would you choose? I would like Sweet Planeswalkers. I would like 4 mana Kaya to be legal. I would like Garruk Relentless to be legal. Planeswalkers are great, chat. Give me all the sweet ones. These 2 Planeswalkers, speaking of, are in the sideboard for these control matchups. They generate card advantage or resilience to sweepers in Gideon's case. I'm going to trim Linden, who really needs us to have a big board to be useful. I'm going to trim Leonin Vanguard as well, I think. Would Jace the Mind still have to be playable in this format? Yeah, probably. Probably. To set a low bar, it would be better than it is in Modern. To clear an incredibly low bar. I think it's great. Easy keep. You know what's kind of... Is ironic the right word? Because the Pro Tour is now happening on Magic Arena, and there's constant Pro Tour Super qualifiers on Magic Online, does Magic Online give you more opportunities to qualify for big arena tournaments than Arena does right now? That's the reality, right? You have more chances to qualify for meaningful arena tournaments on Magic Online than you do on Magic Arena. I don't know why, like, this was the first, I was looking at the Magic section on Twitch, and Newmont's playing a Super Qualifier, and I was like, huh, he's not playing Arena, but he's playing in a thing that qualifies him for Magic Arena. That's unfortunate. Hopefully we draw another good 4-drop here. Although, again, we have these Castle Ardenvales, and we have them under a little bit of pressure, so it might be okay. What if you qualify in Moto, but have to play Arena, you have no Arena decks? Well, for the very first Pro Tour, they're giving competitors stacked Arena accounts. That will not be the norm moving forward, though. They are providing accounts this one time because people who qualified didn't know in advance, but for future ones, that will not be the case.
No time for a break.
Which I was actually really surprised they went back on that. Hey, Word Insta, thanks for the 3rd of year. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
Let's skip to the good part.
Yep. How far are we from going deep? Pretty far off. I mean, to be fair, Danny, a lot of people who are good enough to qualify for the Pro Tour on Magic Online probably don't spend much to play Magic Online. They're probably the bigger fish and bigger sharks in the pool. Like a really stingy decision considering most pros. What do you mean, Tim Louie? What's stingy? Like, do people not realize, like Wizards of the Coast doesn't provide decks for people to show up and play paper Magic tournaments and no one bats an eye. Like, I feel like when that whole thing happened, the number of attitudes from grinders who, like, were shocked that Wizards of the Coast wanted them to own Magic cards is just, like, really funny. The reason Wizards of the Coast runs Magic tournaments is because they want people to buy Magic cards. That includes the competitors. Trust me when I say that Wizards of the Coast considers a secondary market existing for paper a bug and not a feature. Are we dead? I feel like we're dead. I think we could miss the land drop for 1 turn here, but missing 2 turns in a row, and then Ratchet Bomb making it so I can't play another one feels real bad. You take a Dread Presence plus a Zuza build around. No, I don't think that's very good. Duck Doolittle. If you haven't already seen... If you haven't looked at the green-black Citadel deck on my website, it's a Dryad of the Grove plus Dread Presence deck, I don't think there's any reason why you would play Azusa over Dryad. The fact that Dryad makes all your land swamp for Dread Presence is just so much better. I think I'm gonna demote this deck on the website. I think I had this one under high potential, and I think this probably deserves to be under fan favorite. No, was it already under fan favorite? It was already under fan favorite. Never mind, it can stay where it is. It is appropriately power level classified. Yes, Azusa is going to be worse than Dryad or Uro in most decks that could possibly want to play it. Is likely in historic, in standard at least. Are we about to get memed? I think we're about to get memed, chat. Cycleland? Cycleland? They mulliganed to 3 and didn't concede. Oh, they're just unlucky? Sucks to be them. Hey, Blackwell, thanks for 23 months. Welcome back. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe the Pro Tour next weekend will really surprise me, and there's going to be something super sweet that comes out of it, but I currently have my expectations set to low, and I'm not planning to dip back into standard even after the M21 happens at the moment. Gamer, thanks for the 23 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Also, can we take a second to appreciate how consistently Wizards of the Coast put standard tournaments right before their sets happen? Is the PT Players Tour, Promotional Tour, or Professional Tour? I don't know. Yeah, I remember that. I really said, like, week 1, week 2 tournaments like that were always so great. I don't know why they went away from doing those. I think this deck can be competitive. I think it's okay. I think it has good draws. I do not think this is one of the best decks in the format, though. Think you have play against a lot of decks in the format, even if you're not the absolute best deck. For people that aren't familiar with my website, there's a variety of different historic decks up there, and the historic decks there are sorted by power level. You can easily filter for which decks I think are competitive or have potential to be the most competitive. What I say is the best deck in the format. Naya Winota is the best deck in Historic. Early PTs solve the format. Nah. Is it worth splashing red for red cap melee? Probably not. Having your lands deal damage to you comes at a real cost when you're trying to get to 30 life. I agree. I think Naya Winota is a good deck to have be the best deck in Historic. There's lots of good tools to attack it with, and those tools are good in a variety of matchups. Naya Winota is supposed to mulligan aggressively. No. I agree. I agree that the fear of solid formats is ludicrous. Big agree. What's the best counter to Naya Winota? Efficient interaction along with a good clock. If you check out the Jund mid-range deck on my website, I think we went 4-0 or 5-0 against Naya Winota the last time we played against it. Having access to 8 to 10 removal spells and then a card like Kroxa to actually kill them tends to work out very well. We beat Naya Winota twice this morning with a Grixis Dredge deck. Mono blue tends to be good against Winota as well. Agree with that assessment. I think we're dead. Feels dead, man. Man, this is just it's just this whole timeline is god awful. For people that are following current events, just good lord. No plays on 1 or 2 is real good for us here. Kind of expecting a stomp to happen with Soul Warden. This might be wrong, because, like, now they play a red card, then I have to chump block to keep Ajani alive. Yeah, Grixis Dredge was the first historic deck we played today. It was quite good. Easy deck of the day. The dog, like, whimpers every time you get hit. It's really sad. We're gonna put a counter on Linden here on the off chance they don't have a lightning strike yet. Should have put the counter on Conclave Tribunal. Sorry, I'll try and do better in the future. Believe it or not, I don't create the software Cardboard Live, so if you have any issues, feel free to forward it to them. So we're just using what we got. I feel like this deck's alright. It'll get a small boost from Containment Priest. We actually didn't play against any Winota in that set, which was unfortunate. I think once Containment Priest is legal, Containment Priest is probably just better than these Grafdigger's cages. Like, the priests don't turn off our Lurrus, and their creatures to attack and block with. They provide devotion for Heliod, so I think that's probably an easy swap when M21 hits with Containment Priest coming. I think the rest of it's okay. I think this deck's fine. I think if you like the life gain style archetype, this deck's reasonably competitive. I think that's about all I got. All right, what are we doing? We got a couple more decks coming up here today before we're done. I'm going to roll a quick ad break and run to the restroom. And when I get back, we're going to play some blue-green climb here. So we'll be back in just a few. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.